For another video on Deoxynn, and this video is going to be a little different from the other videos that I have done. This is not going to be regarding content or any other things. I'm just going to go through the game files and point out things that I find interesting. Now there are many things, but particularly I'm going to go into the assets game file here. As you can see, there are four different types fonts. That's very self-explanatory. Music, which is all the different soundtracks. The sounds, uh, these are a little different, like the sounds that characters make when they you know, when they talk, and etc etc. And lastly, the one that I'm going to discuss about today, sprites. I have a little shall I say experience with these sprites. You see, I wanted to make a subreddit for Deoxynn, and I have made it. So link in the description along with the link for the game itself. But anyway, eh, due to that, I have had to use some of the sprites, particularly the wait, let me show you that here. Yes, the background one here, this one. I had to use this one, and I thought this was in the sprites one, so I searched everywhere for it. I couldn't find it. And not only that, as I'm sure some of you already saw, I made a Halloween post with the characters dressed up as different stuff. So that I actually got from the NPCs is these all these sprites here. That's what I used to get all of them. So I am going to go in the order of these from literal meme sprites and all to sprites that I actually think hold somewhat of a lower significance. Wait a second, what was I saying? Sorry, my mother by mistakenly interrupted the recording. So anyway, let's get the memes out of the way first. Oh wait, it's not in the here. Wait a second. It's in the face sprites for Zoe. The first of all, I think you would notice the question mark one for all of the characters is labeled what? It's not labeled the way WHAT. It's spelled in the way that you would spell it in memes. So there's that. But more memeable. Yes, Among Us. And no, I'm not saying it for the meme. It's not written AMONG. It's literally written AMOG. It's just a meme. It does not exist. Okay, so the more elaborate meme is, you know, Acoustic Jam already mentioned and that Alex's mom is never supposed to show her face. So when I saw that there was a walk cycle, I went in knowing that there is going to be some memes involved. Yeah, Lamau, you thought, and get ready for this. we are going to get rickrolled. I think that's actually my second time getting rickrolled in my entire life. But to be fair to myself, the first time I got rickrolled, I actually anticipated that it would be a rickroll. So this is technically the first time. And here at the end it's written, the joke is you will never get to see her face. Yeah, that's it. That's it. No. What was this saying? Yeah. And there are some other things. Mm, not that much. Firstly, wait, where is this? Yes, Caleb. Yeah. Sorry, guys, I'm having a difference between face and the NPC folders. I'm having a little confusion here. But first of all, yes, Caleb has a brushing. Yes, has a blushing like face reaction for some reason. I don't think it's ever used, and he, he also has a brush smile face. By the way, in case you are wondering what this evil one is, it's just the sprite that's used before and after his insanity route battle. Not much about it. Hmm. Also, for some reason, Bruno has a confess, like a confess sprite. I checked and I don't think it's ever used again. And I'm not too sure, but I don't think it's ever used. Wait, let me check. Yes, recording is still going, and I don't think it's ever used, but here it is. I don't know what he's going to confess to. I don't know. And also, by the way, Lucas also has the blush and blush happy and blush smile reactions for the face, despite them, according to my knowledge, not being used. And while for Caleb, it's just within the face expressions. Let me find here. Yes, Lucas here. Yes, Lucas also has a full walk animation for the blush expression as well. Now I know that some of you might be immediately going to the shipping aspect of this, but I just want to point out that though Alexa has been confirmed to have a crush on Lucas, both of those instances have uh, up until now been just optional dialogue. So I would say that there would be some more unskippable dialogue that inserted before, or this the plot line ever gets more detailed. But the more logical explanation I find is that Lucas mentioned uh, that there is going to be a concert of Shining Grace, uh, pop idol. I think she was. Yes, uh, pop idol. I think was her profession. There is going to be a concert of her in Nextville. I think was the name of the place. Sorry, my antivirus is going on. Anyway, yeah, there is going to be a concert. So I think it's just going to be because you know when we meet our idols, we tend to blush a little. So that's probably that. Speaking of Shining Grace, here is here are her sprites. Now, do keep in mind that these have not been used in Act 1, so there's that. Um, yeah, there are some miscellaneous things, including the like yes, the Marina restaurant thing. I think this is supposed to be used in a statue or something. And I did not mention this before, even though it was less low relevant because yes, there's a Shining Grace is like spread here as well. So yeah, there's that. So yes, these are the. So it seems that she is going to play a much larger role in upcoming acts. So I just wanted to point that out. Up until this point, though, we did not have much information about her appearance. There, there is no face spread for her, and the closest thing we got to her appearance was yes, in the cards and the on the heads of the shining grace coin. Yeah, you. I think you can see that. Yeah, that's the only we, thing we got of her. And but now, uh, let me. Yeah, the UI. I something I found interesting was that another character also has eyes. Wait a second and a half. Here, this here. Let me give a side to side comparison. Sprites and NPCs. As you can see, yes, the first shopkeeper in the entire game, I think the name was uh, Jack. By the way, his official name in the code of the game, yes, here in the shopkeepers, he's referred to as Black. So I think that's his name. I forgot his name. I'm sorry about that, but as you can see, he has a picture of her in the shop. So he also might be a fan, or maybe related to him. I mean, sorry, related to Shining Grace. But this is just something interesting that I wanted to point out. These are all the player particle, by the way. Something I found interesting here, though, is the sprite called Heart Ultra. I don't think it's ever going to be used. It's just might be here, but something I do think is going to be used is the sprite here called Laser. This, if I had to guess, is something related to the secret boss, or maybe even a mandatory boss that we're going to encounter in the upcoming acts. The Speaking of that, let me find it for a second. Yes, the message here not only has one for has like battle messages for poison sleep. If both of these are in-game status effects, this is the. But we also have guts freeze. Freeze is from I think Deltron. Moon down and up are also from Deltron, probably even dodge. But burn, dumbass, guts, idiots. Wait, no, idiot. All these are new messages that are just here. So there is that. And also the button also has not a pink one and also white sprites. Now we know that the pink ones are used by Alexa, so it's interesting that there are also white ones. Hmm, I don't think that's too relevant to the topic at hand. These are the stat effects, the attack, which symbolizes that we're in the trap phase. These three, and this is just the border template. The shopkeepers I showed you, the players I showed you. This the party one I'm going to save for last. The particles ones, these are just the leaf. I don't know what this is, but it's there. And what is interesting though is that leaves, when we touch a leaf shaped bullet, when we're in the trap phase, that automatically gets it out of a trap phase. So that might be relevant, but I doubt it. The notebook one is just just it's a notebook. I don't think there's a need to explain that there are very um, uh, primitive drawings of most of the enemies. Hmm, I don't know for sure, but these just might be for acoustic jams. What is it? What's it called? Yes, a reference, but it all. I think it was mentioned somewhere that Alexa is going to have a journal in the full game, so these just might be drawings she made after encountering all of these. I don't know where the dummy is here, but whatever. The new battle transition is just the screen which appears when we transition into a battle. Self-explanatory. The miscellaneous I just showed you. Banana, car, cheese. Web ball, I think this one is used during the no, after the what's that? Yes, the Charlotte fight, but probably not. These are all the map objects. Uh, they, that will be the phase ones I already showed you. What I forgot to say was that, as you can see here, all the KT sprites are actually misspelled, or that's what you might think, but fortunately, eh, I saw Acoustic Jam react to my initial lore playthrough, and in that playthrough, no, in that reaction, he actually stated that Katie's name was actually initially supposed to be spelled like this, but because the pronunciation of the name was too confusing and someone made a suggestion, it was later on changed to include an I in the middle. I just wanted to point that out. Enemies, I think this is very self-explanatory. The mimic one is interesting because I don't know what this thing is supposed to be. Hey, there is one chest in the what? Hey, near the warp doors, the fast forward doors in the forest area. I don't. Alexa states that it might get down at some point. And in the journey, I went back to check after almost every major, like lower. No, wait. After almost every major game checkpoints, but I could not find it anywhere. So I don't know what it is, or it might even be a scrapped idea actually. Anyway, these are all just like I think you can understand these. The spare, the I spell that one's from Deltron probably. The card one I just showed you. The icons for all the cards, the opponent names, everything. I think you understand this. The bullet ones basically contain about all the bullets It's the all the bullets ever used in the game, how their sprites originated from here. I don't know what the battle scripts are, and honestly, I don't know if I will ever be able to understand them. Anyway, the bubbles, I don't know what these are. Borders are, I think they're supposed to appear. I don't know where how to state. I think they're supposed to appear in the game if we don't have full screen settings on. I don't know too much about the game settings, so I don't know. The battle back ones are just, I think you can understand all these. These are just the battle backgrounds for all. This is for the two secret boss battles. This one appears in the forest, the deep forest ones. Uh, I don't know whether there are two deep forest ones, especially considering that these two appear to be almost the same spread, but whatever. This is the cave one. This one, this one is also the secret boss one, specifically for the final attack. This one is for Charlotte's battle. These are the achievements. By the way, I recently found this out, but there are many challenge runs, and I recently completed the water challenge run. I don't know how to describe it to you. There is like a part of the battlefield just is a place we move slowly. Basically, um, it it's initiated by the naming ourselves water in the game menu. Uh, acoustic jam actually mentions it in the page for the game. So since I'm going to link the game anyway, I'll let you figure that out. Anyway, mm, now on to the ones that I find actually interesting. Here, no wait, not here. Uh, Let me find that for a second. Yes, map objects. No, I'll probably cut back to it when I do find it. Never mind, I found it. Alexa mentions that she's going to her aunt's next week, and yeah, here are the spreads of her aunt's house. It's mostly the same, except the mirror's position is different, and there seems to be two extra rooms here. The bathroom, and looking at the garden, this area seems to be a place completely different from the deep forest and the normal forest area. The background trees seem to be different, and uh, this dark world, everything, all of this is from Deltarune. I think it's just a placeholder, basically. Mhm. Now let let me get to a few more interesting things, such as, namely, I say, namely, where, a, a walk cycle for a character named Chris, not with the K. That one's from Deltarune. This one from Deoxynn has a CH instead, and you know, I think it's obvious that this spread was highly influenced by the Undertale kid spreads, and I think the color palette specifically was influenced uh, by the unused kid character spread. It was named CHARA, short for character in Undertale. So this is like inspired by that one. I think it was mentioned that Chris was X's cousin, I think, and And if you see here in the tile sets, uh, Chris even has their own room. And yeah, Chris is in fact a cousin of Alexa's because their room has the same background as Alexa's aunt's house. So it's Alexa's aunt's child. So by proxy, that's uh, you know Chris is Alexa's cousin. Anyway, as I was saying, this is the room designated to Chris, the one with the CH, and and considering that they have the same trees as the one with Alexa's aunt, it is highly likely that Chris is her child. So that makes them Alexa's cousin. Anyway, oh, and also this is supposed to be the guest room .png. So this is um, presumably the room Alexa is going to stay in the following act. So, and lastly, before I get to the main things, here is the uh, Finnegan, um, oh, Flanagan class. So it's supposed, I think it's going to be another teacher of Alexa's. So anyway, all of that. Before I get into the more important things, I just want to give a quick shout out to the devs. Where are they? Yeah, Acoustic Jam and another developer, Raccoon. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Um, yeah, Acoustic Jam. Oh, com- he comments a lot on my videos. Also, he has responded a lot out to my videos, and he has a he has an entire walk cycle here, and all of that. Uh, Raccoon does not. They just have a relax animation with them. Just I think this is supposed to be fanning themselves. I'm not going to use pronouns because I don't know their pronouns. Anyway, it seems that they're supposed to be fanning themselves with this, whatever this is, and uh, I don't know what this chair thing is called, but I have seen similar things near beach. So this is, I mean, presumably they're going to appear as an NPC the same way Acoustic Jam. I mean, Acoustic Jam never made a visual appearance. Just Acoustic Jam was mentioned in Act One. Anyway, moving on. Finally, we get to the party sprites, which only has Alexa sprites. That this whole video was worth making. Most of these are. Oh, by the way, forgot to mention that Alexa said have that that thing we see in that dreamlike sequence thing. Uh, that mm, that is actually labeled as Alexa underscore clone in the game files. Because that really isn't Alexa, despite what the clone claims it is. Um, anyway, the thing oh, I think most of you are already aware of if, is Alexa. You know, this is I think is supposed to be the one she where in the upcoming upcoming acts, which are supposed to be in beach. I think it was the Nextville beach or something. I forgot the name, but anyway, these are supposed to be for that. But I'm just going to keep this aside for now, and the one and nothing. I realized that after the initial recording, I realized that it would be better for me to return to my theory board background to make this part of the analysis. So, what is the mysterious sprite that inspired me to make the whole video? Well, it's a sprite of Alexa wearing a towel. I'm not even joking. I wish I was joking, but no. This sprite somehow added to the trauma of Alexa that I explained in my phone calls video by tying together three pieces of flavor text that I didn't even know can be connected. The first flavor text, and the one that explains why Alexa has black hair here, is the one that takes place as in an empty place about the bathtub where a photo frame was supposedly there before. Alexa mentions that this photo was taken before she dyed her hair, so that explains why she has black hair. Although, just a side note, I don't know how just water, like going for a swim, can remove hair dye. I don't know because I never wear hair dye, so maybe that's something that can happen. But then again, Europe has been established to have weird things going on with rain and so on. Alexa literally says that water can hurt people or something along those lines. Yeah, the rain can hurt people, it seems. Anyway, side tangent over. The second line is that Alexa mentioning that her closet is full of the same dress, like the one which she wears in Act 1. She mentions that she has the same dress, like many dress of the same design basically. And last but not least, the one that ties all of this back to trauma, Alexa's line about her trying to convince herself that the insane half which we see in the mirror while Alexa interacts with it is not her. Now, connecting these all these lines, I had one realization. Initially, I thought it was weird that Alexa's insane half had such a different appearance from her. Initially, I thought that this was somewhat of Alexa's imagination of her physical appearance combined with that of Nyarla, the Deoxynn that made her a victim in the first place. But now this spread recontextualizes that for me, and also recontextualizes all the lines about Alexa's clothing, because this tells me that Alexa actually wore clothing similar to her insane half before the incident that happened with Ryan 1 year ago. And in case you have no idea what I'm talking about, go watch the phone call video. I'm not going to contextualize any of it here. Anyway, the point is that Alexa probably had similar clothing and similar hair color to her insane half before that incident. I'm going to keep a side by side comparison here with her in the towel and her in insane half, and I think you can see the similarities. Aside from her face looking a little more, you know, blacked out in her insane half. It's basically a one to one. Otherwise, so what this tells me is that due to her trauma resulting from the incident, she changed her hair color and started wearing clothes, you know, the opposite colors from her previous clothing, black and white. I think you can understand that. So, yeah, this was just an important thing that I found because, it shows us the lengths that Alexa went to separate her appearance and try to convince herself that the insane half that killed Ryan was not her. So it just adds trauma to her character. And I know that this whole theory might be just a stretch, but sometimes things are so specific that it's hard to just think that they are coincidences. So anyway, I hope all of you enjoyed this videos, and I hope to see all of you guys soon. So thank you for watching, and bye for now.